Hi, welcome to Chair Yoga. If you have never joined me before, then welcome. I am happy that you're trying this for the first time. And if you've done it before, welcome back. I didn't totally scare you off. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. You can have both feet on the floor, or you can have one leg up, and then I'll tell you when to switch, or you can have both feet up. You decide what you're gonna do. I'm gonna be honest, I have to switch. I always start off with this one on top, so let me get in the right position. All right, we're gonna straighten up those spines, roll those shoulders back and down. Hands are just in a comfortable position, whatever that is for you. I want you to get settled. Just focus on that breath. Maybe close those eyes. Unless that's not comfortable for you. Some people, it still makes them feel a little edgy closing the eyes, but if you can, close them. All right, and if you haven't yet, start trying to breathe in and out through that nose. Nice deep inhales. Long exhales, get all that air out. Excuse me. We're just trying to build that breath. Get it a little deeper, longer. You can always slowly count as you inhale, and then as you exhale, slowly count, but add 1 or 2 numbers to the end, just to build that exhale, to really make sure you're getting all that air out, because we have a tendency not to do that. And then you can slowly work at those numbers. That's a good way to keep track of whether that breath is building. All right, we're gonna go ahead and drop that head over to one side. Just nice and easy. Just imagine you're trying to get that shoulder and that ear closer together. Just nice and easy. With every breath, that head's just getting heavier and heavier. It's just melting down. Taking those nice deep breaths. We're still just focusing on slowing that breath down. Just enjoy being still for a little bit. Take one more breath here. Exhale, we're gonna rotate down to look at that elbow. And I did not silence my watch. Okay. We're just gonna gaze down at that elbow. As always, just the first couple breaths, you need to just be in this position, just gazing down. And then if you want to add a slight twist, you can, or you can just continue gazing down at that elbow. But always don't go right into the twist. The fan can't make up its mind whether it wants to be on or not today. It's okay, we all have those days sometimes. We'll take 2 more breaths here. So on your next exhale, we're going to slowly rotate up. If you need to, pause with that side position first with that ear as low as it'll go, and then it's just a very slight twist up. It is not a huge movement, so don't think that it needs to be some grand movement. It's just a small little twist up. Make sure the spine's nice and tall. For some reason with this one, I think because I'm gazing over there, I slowly start leaning out. We want that spine to be really nice and tall. This would be a good time if you could see yourself in a mirror, or maybe even just a reflection, depending on where you're doing this at. One more breath. Exhale, we're gonna roll that chin around to the chest. We're gonna pause right there. Ooh, I'm tight across my neck and tops of my shoulders. All right, so depending on how tight you are, we're gonna tuck that chin right here. I want you to imagine that forehead's coming down lower. So depending on how tight you are, you may just feel it through your neck, tops of your shoulders, but you could go all the way down that back. So everyone's gonna be a little different in what they're feeling. I have to say I normally feel it almost halfway more kind of mid where my bra across the back would be, but today I'm just feeling it across my neck and shoulders, which it's good just to check in with yourself of how you're feeling and just taking notice of that. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Remember, every inhale, we should be expanding that rib cage too while we're here. 1 more. On the exhale, we're going to lift that chin slowly for the ceiling. If you need to, you could always put those hands up for support, but otherwise, oh, I just touched the microphone. Sorry. Could you hear? Sorry. Sorry, Brian. Let that chin really shoot up for the sky. Don't feel bad if you need to put those hands up for support. Sometimes I do. That's totally okay. With every breath, I want you to feel as if that chin's trying to shoot up. So you're stretching out that spine, trying to elongate that spine. Just over time, as we get older, we just start to lose that space in between. We start shrinking down a little bit. We're just trying to elongate, stretch that out. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to come through the center. Switch those legs. If you have just one up, or if you have both, switch. If both feet are on the floor, then you just go right ahead and drop that head over to the other side. Same thing though. Just imagine that head is just trying to melt down to that shoulder. You could always change the positions of those hands too. Nice deep breath. You should really feel that stretch along that other side. This would be another time to notice just the difference between the 2 sides. Take 2 more breaths here. 1 more breath on the exhale. That's when you're going to rotate down so that head is still staying tilted, and then just rotating down to look at that elbow. So same as the other side, you can add that twist if you'd like after 2 or 3 breaths, but maybe one side you do and one side you don't. They don't have to be exactly the same. I'm going to add that twist, and I'm going to try not to, I have a tendency just to slowly lean out because I'm trying to look farther behind. But keep that spine nice and tall. I say these things just because if I'm doing it, then you might be doing it too. Two more breaths. 1 more breath. Nice and easy. Make sure that head's as low as it'll go. Slight twist up. Now, you should know the difference, and not you should, I'm sure you know the difference between just stretching something a little bit and maybe possibly hurting yourself. So if something hurts to where it's not just that stretch that you need to work out, then just come out of it. You could just sit there focusing on your breath. One of my ladies from Ida Library, when we would have class, she had neck issues, so she didn't do any of our neck stretches. She would just sit there focusing on her breath. She was also one that requested songs, so I would try to play her songs that she requested during that time so she could just enjoy the music. All right, 1 more breath. Exhale. Roll that chin around to the chest. We're just going to breathe here a couple more times before we come out of it. So I want you to really sink that forehead down, but I want you to really focus on that rib cage opening up as you inhale, filling up with air. Just imagine the fact that your ribs are trying to separate and then coming back in. Just noticing the difference of when you're really focusing on what you're wanting your body to do, of how it feels. Take 1 more here. exhale, we're just gonna look up through the center. Maybe shrug those shoulders back, put those feet down if you have them up. All right, we're gonna go right into a nice side stretch. Stretch that arm way, way up and way out to the side. You can use that hand on the chair. Maybe if you have a bar down lower, that'd be perfect. But bend that elbow. Remember that we're not trying to roll forward. We're trying to stack right up on that side. Keep going as low as you can and breathe. I just caught myself holding my breath. That's why I said that. One more breath. See, even I don't do it right sometimes. Usually if I point out something that could go wrong with it, it's because I catch myself doing it. So if I'm doing it wrong, then more than likely you might be doing it wrong. So we don't want to be rolling forward or rolling back. So try to imagine that you have a ruler connecting those shoulders and we're just keeping them right, nice and stacked. Go a little deeper. You should feel that down that side. Come on up, nice and easy. Shrug those shoulders. All right, scoot out to the edge. We're going to rub that bowl to start. That's just a really good one, just to be nice and easy. Those feet need to be out wider than your hips and shoulders. All right, so depending on where your circle is, for those who have not done this, we're rubbing the bowl is what I don't even know what the real technical term of it is, but just imagine you have that bowl. Your bowl might be down here to the side or out here. So maybe you're just having to keep it right here, perfectly fine. What it is you're basically the spatula and you're rubbing that circle. So hopefully your bowl's as tilted as you possibly can, you know, when you're really stirring something good. That's what we're going for. All right, just nice and easy. Go as low as you can. Top of the head is shooting for the floor. And come on around. Just give that pause, stretch to the back. You should be stretching through the arms, tucking the chin, curving that spine. Keep going. Nice and easy. Give that pause at the back every time. One more, last one this way. And then we're going to pause the back, go the other direction. Still give that stretch though. You need to really be stretching through those arms, tucking that chin, curving that spine. Other way. Pause, stretch every time. Nice deep breaths in and out through that nose. Two more. Last one, make it a good one. Stretch way back. Straighten up that spine, roll those shoulders back, walk those feet together. Might as well make this work for us and work those ankles a little bit. All right, we're gonna go right into a spinal twist. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way, way up. You're holding that breath for just a moment and then exhale. Nice, I'm cracking like a glow stick right now. Holy moly. Everything's cracking, my shoulders, my spine. We're just breathing right here. So keep that gaze parallel with the floor and try to look back as far as you possibly can. Some of you like to have those arms shooting out, which is fine. I actually use my hand as leverage to twist a little bit. Just breathe right here. One more breath. Exhale, slowly untwist. Nice and easy. Shrug those shoulders. We're going right to the other side. Nice deep inhale. Pause. You're holding that breath for just a moment because we want to just stay in that stretch position for a second. Exhale. Just gaze right here. We're not trying to go deeper. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale. Slowly come forward. Shrug those shoulders if you need to. All right. Walk those feet out. We just want to have them about hip width apart. We're going to lean out over that leg first. So I want you to imagine you're pulling a string. We're stretching out that spine. We're going to roll back that top shoulder Just like before when we were doing that side stretch, imagine the shoulders are trying to stack on top of each other. We're just gonna raise that arm up. We're gonna do some nice slow circles, so whichever direction you wanna start is fine. We're just working those shoulders. One more this way, making that circle as big as you can. All right, when that arm gets to the bottom, go the other way. I should have said it, but when my arm gets by my ear, I give just a little extra stretch to the fingertips. I'm sure someone looking at me can't even tell, but I'm just trying to stretch out a little farther. One more. Just nice and easy. We're gonna roll over to the other side, but you just naturally, I can feel myself even, you just start wanting to slouch with that spine, so stretch that spine out. So pull that string if you need to, pull that top shoulder back, and then start your circles. Trying to have as much twist as you can. I know for some you're not gonna be able to, and you're gonna be a little more angled, that's fine. But where we'd be working at trying to get those shoulders really stacked. One more. Wow, even now I'm cracking like crazy, holy moly. All right, when the arm gets to the bottom, change direction. One more. Remember, you're making that circle as big as you can, stretch way out, and then come on down. We're just gonna hang out in the middle for a moment. All right, both arms are across those legs. Just let that head fall. You could shake your head no a little bit if that feels good. I actually always like to push my forearms towards the floor while I lift my spine for the ceiling. If you do that one though, only do it for 2 or 3 breaths and then let it go, relax. Take one more breath here and then we'll do a little baby push-up. Hands on those knees. Try to only use your arms to push up. Nice. All right, bring that leg up. We're gonna do work those hips. Hope I'm covering my, yep. All right, so bring that leg up real nice and tall. I want you to really flex that foot, toes are coming back. If you can't get your leg up all the way, you could be holding onto it anywhere through here. You may even just have to have that foot on the floor, which is fine, but everyone needs to straighten their spine, shoulders are softened, and that foot is flexed, toes are always trying to spread out and come back. But if you're able to, and you can get that leg all the way up to the chest, start bringing it out to the side and get it back as far as you can. And breathe. I was holding my breath again. I don't know why, this one I do that a lot. 2 more breaths. You should be really trying to work that hip. Exhale when you're ready. All right, so if you can keep that leg back there or wherever it is, we're all gonna round our shoulders. So really exaggerated, and you're curving that spine, you're tucking that chin. Just trying to get as small as you can around that leg. And breathe. Two more breaths. One more breath. Exhale, come up real nice and tall. All right, we're gonna work that hip some more. Really make some nice big circles. That foot is still flexed, toes are still trying to spread out and come back, but straighten up that spine. I know we like staying in slouchy positions, but straighten up that spine. Do one more for good measure. Other way. Make that circle as big as you can. I actually help my leg up at the top because I think, yeah, if I didn't lift it with my arm, I would not go as high with it. One more. Little clicking, clacking is okay. At least I'm telling myself that. Okay, bring that leg up there. All right, flex that foot. You're still trying to stretch those toes out and bring them back. We're doing that because it's stretching our feet out, which is good, but it's also strengthening them. So, and we need that. All right, so remember, your foot could be just right here on the floor, little by little, whatever it is. We're still gonna be focusing on that breath and just breathing. If you can, really pull it back. Feel free to close your eyes when we're holding these positions. I do. For me, it's just relaxing, but that is up to you. One more breath. Exhale, we're going to round around that leg. So very exaggerated. Really think about rolling those shoulders forward, curving that spine, tucking that chin. Still trying to flex that foot and spread those toes out. Grab it however you need to get smaller. One more breath. Exhale. Come up real nice and tall. So we like to be slouchy, so straighten that spine back up and then start that hip. Same thing though, we're trying to make as big of a circle back as we can. We're just working that hip. I plan on us getting out of our seats and doing our warriors. So we want to make sure those hips are nice and warmed up, loosened. Ready to do that. All right, other direction. Still keeping that foot flexed. That alone is, I know there's a lot to think about of what you're doing, but it means you're working your brain. Bonus. All right, one more for good measure. All right, bring that foot up there, point and flex. Did we do this on the other side? Brian, did we point and flex our other foot? I don't think we did. Yeah, we're gonna go back and do that in a second because we want to try to keep things even. Roll the foot around, point and flex, move it every which direction, and then go back to, sorry, I'm asking you for help. I'm probably not supposed to talk to you. I'm not in the room alone. Surprise, surprise. All right, let's go to the other side because we didn't do it. And I didn't think we did because I didn't feel like that felt right. Go back to the other foot. We don't want it to feel left out. Roll it around every which direction, point, and then go back to rolling it around because that is usually when something will happen, when like you'll feel something work out or a crack or whatever when you go back to something. All right, put that leg down. All right, we need to stretch out those legs a little bit and then we're going to get up out of our seats. All right, we're going to do a forward fold. So come out to the very edge of that seat to where you still feel comfortable. We're going to do a forward fold over that leg. So we're going to try to keep a nice straight leg. That foot is flexed. We're taking a breath in. We're exhaling. We're hinging forward. We're going to fold over that leg. And holy moly, you might be feeling things. I am. That leg's going to naturally want to bend a little bit as you come forward, which is perfectly fine. Don't force it. Just breathe right here. You could let the arms hang. You could be holding onto your foot or leg, pulling yourself down a little. You may even, this may be too far for you. Maybe your hands need to be on those thighs for some support. Everyone's going to be a little bit different. We're going to take one more breath. Exhale. We're going to stack those vertebrae. So let the arms hang, head's hanging. We're just rolling on up. All right, other side. I definitely think we need to do those twice. So we're going to go deeper on the other side. All right, we'll come back to this leg right after this one. All right, so same thing. We're flexing that foot. Toes are still trying to spread out and come back. We're going to take a nice deep inhale. Exhale. We're keeping it flat back as long as we can. We're hinging from those hips, fingertips out, and then folding over. Just let the head fall. Think about this. I mean, our heads are heavy, so it's just working as a weight to help with the stretch. I think we have a tendency to want to hold our head up, but just let it hang. It's just helping you out. Just breathe right here. We're not trying to go deeper yet. We're going to come back to it and go deeper. I feel like I'm going to hold on to my chair. I feel like it's sliding. One more breath. On your exhale, stack those vertebrae, ragdoll up so head and arms are hanging. Nice and easy. I think we're going to go back to our spinal twist. We're going to do deeper with that, and then we'll come back to our legs, and then we'll get up out of our seats. All right, so we're going to do a deeper twist with that spinal twist. So we're going to breathe in just like we did, but this would be a good time to really use that hand on outer leg and the chair for leverage. With every exhale, I want you to try to go a little deeper. So think about wringing out that wet rag. If you're matching it with your breath, then you'll be able to get a little deeper with it. So that's what we're working for. So nice deep inhale, stretch way, way, way up, pause, and then exhale. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. Every exhale, try to go a little deeper. Now, remember, don't let the chin drop down. We're trying to keep that nice posture. So keep the eyes parallel with the floor. But if you get to a point where you start rounding slightly, that means you've just gone a little bit too far. Just slightly come out of it. We want to keep that nice tall spine. We're going to do 2 more breaths. So one more chance to go deeper on that exhale. And then one more breath. Exhale, we're going to untwist. Nice and easy. Shrug the shoulders if you need to. I always feel like I need to after that. All right, here we go. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way, way up, pause, exhale. Same thing, let all that air out, and then nice deep breath in. Exhale, go a little deeper. Remember, use that leg and that back arm to help you get a little deeper. Nice deep breaths. One more breath. Exhale when you're ready, and we're just going to slowly untwist, nice and easy. Shrug those shoulders if you need to. All right, so do those chicken wings. So I feel like I'm much more exaggerated about it when I have my arms up, so if that helps you too, go right ahead. Just roll them backwards. We don't roll forward, we only roll backwards because we want that nice posture. All right, let's just take 2 nice deep breaths. Stretch way up. Just nice and easy, letting all that air out. Nice deep breath in. Always just holding that for just a moment because we want to stay in that stretch position. Exhale. All right, we're going to forward fold. All right, so we're going to go deeper with it this time. So that means we're going to still hinge from our hips when we go to forward fold. We're trying to keep that flat back as long as we can. Except for when you think you can't keep that flat back anymore, I want you to give one little extra stretch with the fingertips before you round. And let me just say, when you do that little extra stretch, someone looking at you probably cannot tell that you've went any deeper, but you should be able to feel that through your spine, through your back. So don't think that it needs to be some giant movement. All right, here we go. I will walk you through it once we're there. Nice deep inhale. Exhale, we're going to hinge forward. When you think you can't anymore, give that little extra stretch. I'm sure you didn't see me move, but I could feel it, especially down the back of my leg. We're going to forward fold over this. So while we're here, you could be flexing the foot a little bit more. You could even lift that heel and pull it out a little. This would be a good time to grab the legs to help pull you down deeper. And you should be feeling that stretch the whole length of the back of your leg. Nice deep breaths. With every exhale, try to sink that chest just a little bit closer to that thigh. One more breath. Exhale. We're going to stack the vertebrae. While I was down there, I thought of one more stretch I want to do before we get out of our seats. For our inner thigh, it'll be so good. All right, other leg. Same thing, we're going to give that little extra stretch. Nice deep inhale. Remember, always, if you want to close your eyes, notice I close mine all the time. Because that's what, if I was at home, my eyes would be closed almost the entire time. So think about like if you let the air out of a balloon, if you sat it down on a table and it just keeps getting closer and closer to itself as it's letting the air out. That's basically what we're trying to go for here. 2 more breaths. So one more chance to go deeper. And then one more breath. My chair is totally sliding out from underneath me. Exhale. This floor is slippery apparently. Roll those shoulders back. Nobody wants to see me on the floor. Unless it's intentionally. Shrug those shoulders. All right, I thought of one more inner thigh stretch I'd like to do before we get out, because I think it'd be good for us to do before our warriors, since that's what we'll be working is our legs mostly. So come out to the edge of your seat, and we're gonna put that leg out to the side, but I don't wanna be on the inner blade. I want the entire foot out there. I think I need to scoot forward slightly too, just because all right, so if you want to, you could just little by little inch that, it's not even an inch, barely move that foot out just a little bit, and you're gonna feel that nice, my brain's not working, inner thigh stretch. That leg that's out, I want the opposite arm to stretch up for the sky. We're just gonna breathe right here. 2 more breaths. 1 more. Just bring that arm down, bring that leg in, and we're gonna go to the other side. So you be on the chair for whatever feels right for you. I kind of need to go, I'm shorter, so I need to go forward and then out to the side, but you decide what that is. We're trying to have that leg right out to the side. That whole foot is down, so not that inner blade, the whole foot. You should be feeling that the whole stretch of that inner thigh. When you think you're there, stretch up the opposite arm. And think about elongating that spine, reaching way up. Remember, you could just barely be moving that foot out a little bit farther. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Exhale, stretch that arm. So even now that arm is trying to stretch way out. We might as well make it beneficial for us as we move into. All right, 2 breaths and we're getting up. Nice deep inhale, stretch way up, exhale, 1 more. Exhale. All right, we're gonna get up out of our seats. All right, let's get up out of our seats. I believe, oh, I'm looking at my watch that's not there. Oh gosh. It's 10 after. Okay, so I think that we're going to try going through this twice, and then sorry. We're going to go through this twice. So once we're just going to go through kind of normal pace. The second time through, we're going to go through a little quicker. I'm not going to talk you through the second time. We're just going to breathe through it. And I want you to try to go a little deeper the second time through. So that's why we're going to go through it a little quicker, just so you're not holding the positions as long. But okay, we're going to go for that first time. Step back from that chair. We're going to do a forward fold, which onto the chair. It's called a forward fold, but basically, if you've done a mat class, it's down dog is the position that we're trying to get into for this. So once we're here, if you need to push the chair out a little bit or wiggle your feet back a little bit, you need to be able to feel that stretch the whole length of the back of your legs up through your back and your arms. So you just need to wiggle and get into position. So don't think you need to stay as still as a statue when you land in that spot, okay? Here we go. Nice deep inhale. Stretch way up. Exhale. So just like the forward fold over our leg, we're going to hinge from those hips so the fingertips are trying to shoot out. And I can tell my chair needs to go out just a smidge. All right, now, you can even decide the distance that your feet are from each other. You're gonna let that chest just fall between those arms, let the head fall, you don't need to hold it up. You could even bicycle those legs out a little bit, just like you do in down dog. You decide. Okay, I was just showing you that, but I'm gonna stay right here. Just breathe right here. Walk my feet back together just a little bit. I'm gonna take 1 more breath. Okay, exhale. We're all gonna step forward with that right foot. Back foot's gonna be at an angle, but I want all 4 corners of that back foot to be rooted down. We're not on the inner blade or anything. Always make sure you can see those toes out the front. So if you're a little leaned out, then you need to just slide your foot out, because you should be able to see those toes. I want you to face towards the chair. Now just take notice, my hips are not squared up with the back of the chair, but eventually that's what we would be working at, is getting those hips squared up with the back of the chair. We're gonna bring those arms up. Remember, we're not sandwiching those ears. Shoulders are nice and softened, but arms are up, gazing straight out in front of us over the chair. I'm getting a little toasty. Remember, we're holding this longer than we will the second time through. Second time through, I'd like for you to spread those feet out just a little bit more so we won't hold it as long. We'll take one more breath right now. Exhale, rotate that back foot, so that just pulled my hip back, but all four corners of that foot are rooted down, and then arms are just coming down. Some of you like to stay right here. I was taught to do palms up because it's just adding a little extra twist, but that is up to you. But everyone should be gazing out over those front fingertips. Remember, always get into a position. If you think you moved much, check to see if you can see those toes. Just breathe right here. So even right now, that little baby back toe should just be really rooting down to the earth. I think we have a tendency to want to go in on the inner blade, but don't let it. One more breath. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Front arm is coming up, back arm is down, gaze is up. Just breathe right here. Two more breaths. One more breath, windmill around. So you're gonna come up on that chair. That chair is there if you need it, whether it's on your rib cage down here like your belly or up here higher, depending on where you've had it. You could even have your hands up here, doesn't matter. I'm gonna push mine out of the way. All right, do whatever you want with those arms. That foot that is up should be flexed, trying to be parallel with the floor. Two more breaths. One more breath. Nice and easy. Try to be controlled with it. Trust me, it doesn't always happen. Sometimes I fall out of that. You might too. Don't worry about it. All right, other side. Here we go. You can keep your chair right where you are. I'm just trying to get mine over to the side so you can see me. All right, step back from that chair. We're going to take a nice deep breath in. Forward fold. I can definitely tell I need to move my chair. So we're trying to just not stick that rear end out. We're keeping those legs stacked right where they are. So it's not, basically what I'm saying is it's not a swan dive down. It's just nice forward fold, hinging from those hips. You can adjust where the feet are. What you're doing with them, whether you're bicycling or not, you decide. Really let that head and chest just fall between your arms. One more breath. All right, left foot forward. So same thing, bend in the front leg, that back leg is straight. It's at a slight angle, but make sure all four corners are rooted downward. Arms are coming up, shoulders are softened, gaze over the front of your chair. So once again, my hips are way not squared up, but eventually that's what we'd be working at, is bringing this back hip forward, squaring it up. Make sure you can see your toes. Just breathe right here. We're going to hold this longer than we are on the next time through. Two more breaths. One more breath. Rotate that back foot. Hips are just following, arms are following along where those hips are going. Palms up, gazes out over those front fingertips. Make sure you're not in on that inner blade. That whole foot is rooted down all four corners. Just breathing right here. One more breath. Straighten that front leg, front arm comes up, back arm is down, gaze is up. Just breathing right here. You should be feeling that stretch probably all the way down that side. I can even feel it all the way down to my hip. Two more breaths. One more. Windmill around. So you decide if you're using that chair or not. Totally, you could even push it out if you want to where then your fingertips are just barely, and maybe little by little you could let go. You decide. That foot that is up, your toe should be flexed still, or your foot should be flexed still. Just breathe right here. One more breath. Exhale, try to be slow and controlled. Doesn't always happen. Good job. All right, we're gonna go to the other side. Now, we're gonna go through this all again, except for I'm not gonna talk you through it this time. So you're just gonna go at your own pace, 3 to 4 breaths for each pose. So that's not nearly as long as what we were doing. So go big or go home. We're not going to hold it as long, so try to maybe go a little deeper with those feet spread out. Just try and go a little deeper with it because you won't have to hold it as long. Just go with your own breath. Here we go. Nice deep inhale. Whenever you're ready, we're going to take just 2 nice deep breaths before we move on. Roll those shoulders back. Step back from the chair. We're going to go through the same thing. Nice deep inhale when you're ready. Forward fold. Come on up. Nice and easy. We're going to take 2 nice breaths before we sit down. One more time. Nice deep inhale. Pause, stretch up. Exhale. Feel like someone's pulling you in opposite directions with those arms. Get all that air out. All right, we're going to go ahead and have a seat. Shrug those shoulders a little bit if you need to. One last side stretch on each side. Try to go a little deeper than you did before. Come on up. Other side. Come on up. All right, we're just going to focus on our breath. Be still before we close out class. Go ahead and just place those hands in your lap, whatever's comfortable for you. If you want to have one or both legs up, you can. We're just going to focus on that breath. Go ahead and close those eyes if you're able to. Nice tall spine, shoulders are softened. Just want you to really think about that breath, slowing it down. We're going to put one hand on our chest, one on our belly. As you inhale, that top hand's going to come out. Bottom hand's going to come out as that belly fills up with air. Just feeling the breath coming in and out. All right, we're going to take one more breath up. You can stay here if you'd like to. I would love it if you did. We're going to pause at our forehead, and that's just a reminder to keep good, pure thoughts and our focus on Jesus. Down to our lips, and that's just to make sure nothing but positive things are passing out into the world. And then down to our hearts. That's just to let His love shine for others to see Him. So the light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for joining me today.